In this video, I have a few components that I'll be looking at and testing, but I'm going to begin with this image of a piece of human hair. This is actually from my beard, and I measured this with a calibration scale at my 315 power of my microscope here. This is about 150 microns in diameter, this piece of hair. I do have other hair samples from head hair, which tends to be a little bit thinner, but we're still talking 100 microns or a few more. Now, I have that piece of hair on my platform here of my microscope. Mounted on my magnet is an actual straight razor, and I'm going to bring that into view next. And this is a Hart razor, which in my opinion has very hard steel. It's not easy to hone. Here's how the razor looks in the microscope. And let me focus that in. So these scratches were created with a Shapton 2000. And these are long, angular scratches. They're quite deep as far as grit goes, but because the Shapton stone has such a hard matrix, the particles don't get released from the base of the stone, the matrix of the stone, so binders of the stone. So you have these long scratches. And I'll take a photo of that if I can. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing is taking this Hart razor, and this is one of their wedge models or near wedge models. So I have taped it. Here's the Shapton 2000. So I'm going to raise a slurry using a worn out Atma diamond plate. This is a very mellow slurry because the plate is so worn out. It's about 4 or 5 year old diamond plate. It was a number 600 when I bought it, but it probably acts more like maybe like a 1200 or something like that right now. So I've got the slurry, and I'm going to use circular strokes here to begin with. Circular strokes have the greatest polishing power from a stone because the slurry gathers both in front of the in front of the edge and behind the edge at the base of the bevel. So the whole bevel tends to get polished. You can see how dark the slurry has become. It was yellow to begin with, and now it's gray. One trick I've found with these Hart razors is to insert a stropping sequence into your honing sequence. Yeah, look at that slurry. It's just very dark. So I do have a strop here. It's nothing fancy. An American strop. So that's about 20 strokes. And I will go up to the microscope and we'll take a look at the state of the razor. So as you know, my switcher changes the viewing from the microscope to the computer, which is a nice feature to have. So we've removed all those Shapton scratches, and we're left with a Kasumi type that's foggy, hazy looking scratch pattern from the Japanese naturals that they're well known for. And that is a result of using slurry, so that the grit particles act as free roaming. And you can see that stropping did brighten up the edge there a little bit too. So I'm going to go back to the stone, and I'm going to rinse off the stone and raise another slurry. Actually, maybe what I'll do is let me wash away that slurry. I have a Tomo Nagara I'll use to make a slurry, which would be a typical thing for anybody to use. And again, you can see how yellow the slurry is, or you would call it green if you want to. So with those strokes in the stone, we'll have reestablished a Kasumi pattern. I mean a scratch pattern right at the edge. It won't be so bright like it was after we stropped it, but it should refine the edge quite a bit. Okay. So this is at 315 power. Remember what the image of the hair was. It took up almost the whole screen. So you can imagine how fine these scratches are at this state. So I think I'm probably pretty close to being done with this razor as far as the stone is concerned. So I'm going to strop on leather. I know a lot of fellows strop 50 or 100 passes. I'm trying to prove my point otherwise with just 20 passes. Okay, this is how the edge is looking. Focus in and pull the edge down just a little bit. So the edge is brightened up quite a lot. This is the effects of the strop right in through there. We still have the Kasumi finish lightly, but not like it is down below behind the edge. So my next step here would be to take the razor, and I have a piece of hair, and we'll see if this razor would pass an HHT test. Uh-oh, where'd my hair go? I'm afraid I dropped it. Let me grab another one. There's actually a couple, but all I need is one. His long hair. Okay, that was a HHT5. Turn the hair around a little bit. That was a 4. It came back on this side of the razor. That dropped on the opposite side pretty easily. That came back over here, maybe out towards the toe of the razor. It might be not quite as refined, and that could be part of the stropping too. But at the heel, it's very sharp. So within 12 minutes, I took that razor to, this would be a shave ready state. I could work on the edge a little bit more and it could become a little more keen, but basically that's the whole idea with this Asagi stone number 1515.